Gavin Newsom signs a law into a place that basically forbids teachers in California from alerting parents if their students, which are the parents' kids, identify as another gender that they are not listed as. So if I'm a teacher in California and there is a girl in my class and she says, I think I'm a boy, I cannot then go tell the parent. The story that kind of brought this to my attention is Elon Musk saying he was going to move his headquarters from California over to Texas fully because this is the last straw, quote unquote. And I texted one of my friends who will remain unnamed, and I was like, yo, does this mean you're moving to Texas? She was like, nah, he does this. You know, he kind of just always says this once in a while. And sure enough, I read up on it, and he actually does do this once in a while where he's like, oh, you know what? I've had enough of California. I'm going to move the headquarters. And he doesn't. But going back to the point. Now, California is a great state. Don't get me wrong. California is a great state. Politically, no. Right? There's a lot of things wrong with a lot of things here, right? We've talked about the homelessness to an extent. We've talked about how expensive shit is. But as far as is it just the weather? Is it just the weather that takes it to 90%? You know, 90% satisfaction, and then 10% is just nonsense. I bought a PS5 this past weekend because Isha was out of town. I didn't really have much to do, and I just wanted a game. You know, I just wanted to play video games. And I went into Target and I was like, why don't I just walk out with this? Why pay for this? If you haven't kept up in California, you can basically steal up to $600 and nothing will happen. You can just walk out. And they can't do anything about it. Obviously, some stores have taken, the power into their own hands, which they've had to, because it's like, how do you even stay in business if all these people are coming in, taking whatever they want, giving you no money? And California endorses this. And even if it passes $600, right? We saw all the kind of Neiman Marcuses and Nordstroms and Saks get raided in San Francisco, probably in LA too. And the most that can happen is just a little slap on the wrist. Nothing more than that can happen. So now we go back to this story, which is just more nonsense. The power should not be in the students' hands. The power should not be in the kids' hands. The power should be in everyone that is an adult, in the teachers and in the parents. If my kid is your student and they are now identifying as a different gender, I would like to be alerted. At least you should have the freedom to do it. The fact that it's banned, California gives in too much to, we should just let everyone do what they want to do. Woo, look at the weather. Wow, it's so sunny outside. That's not how people should operate. We have too much freedom in this world. We have too much freedom in this world. I know y'all probably think I'm crazy when I say stuff like that, but we have way too much freedom, and things have to have some type of structure, or we fall into this anarchy, or we fall into this world of kids doing whatever they want. We do have to control the kids. We should let them be free, right? We should let them have their choices. Do you want to play this sport? Do you want to be in these classes? I mean, the classes thing we can't control too much because of curriculums. Do you want to play these sports? Do you like these foods? Oh, you don't like this color bed sheets? Okay, we'll change it to this. Oh, do you want a different toothpaste? Certain things that we allow them to choose. Now, there is no reason I can think of that a teacher should be banned from telling me if my kid identifies as a different gender. We should snitch on these kids as every moment we can get. We should snitch on these kids every moment we can get. My sister has two boys, my nephews, and one of them is old enough to be in school, and she tells me about these things, right? She tells me about these things like, oh, hey, he just said, like, this is happening in his school. Like, this other student said this to him. What should I do? You should snitch. Like that. The communication line should always be open from parent to teacher, parent to teacher, parent to teacher. You got to take these kids out of it. I understand once you pass the age of 18, right? We've established the age of 18 to be you're old enough to make your own decisions to some extent, right? You're a legal adult, I believe. You can go to a hookah lounge. You can't drink alcohol, but you can go to a hookah lounge and some strip clubs. But you can go to a hookah lounge. You can make your own decisions. You more than likely have a driver's license. You can do whatever you want, right? Some countries you can drink, whatever. And then 21, you're an adult. You can now drink. You can now do this. You can vote, whatever it is. Now, don't get me wrong. You're still pretty dumb at 21. A lot of people that aren't 21 yet listening to this, you don't know it yet, but you're still dumb. By the age of 25 is when you probably start being like, oh, okay, I kind of get it now. I've always said this, they had 25. But before you're 18, as teachers and as parents, we should snitch on these kids every chance we can get. If my kid is telling me about, oh, hey, his friend just said his dad is, has a gun, or, blah, 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 I'm going to bully this kid, or I'm just going to steal this. I'm telling the teacher the moment I find out. And the same thing with the teachers here. If they find out some information where it's like, hey, your son has been identifying as this lately, or hey, he's been cursing a lot, I would like to bring it to your attention, right? With that communication line. I keep saying that communication line needs to be open. Now, don't get me wrong. We should not give teachers too much power, right? You are not my kid's parent. I am putting all my faith in you to steer them a certain way, educate them, watch their badass for 8 hours a day, hopefully lead them the right way, teach them how to make friends, teach them how to be good. There's a lot of things teachers do. Do I think they should be paid $500,000? Probably not. Probably not, right? But they're pretty much full-time babysitters at some ages. And they are vital to shaping these kids to some extent, right? We see the difference in outputs from different neighborhoods, from different school districts, and we see what happens when those kids take the next step and they start mixing with different kids from different school districts. When I was in second grade, I remember my family went to Arkansas for kind of like we visited some family friends. And in Indian culture, a lot of times when you visit these families in different states or whatever, you get an envelope on your way out, right? The mom or dad or whatever hands all the kids envelopes, which basically just has like $20, $21 in it most of the time, $11. This one I remember because it was $101. It was $101, the most money I had ever seen in my life, the most money I had physically had in my hand my whole life. I show my mom, oh my gosh, look. She takes it, puts it in her purse. We go to the hotel. Now, I was a massive kleptomaniac, whatever the term is for stealing shit. So, what did I do? We were back at the hotel. I took the envelope out of her purse, put it in my backpack, my pocket, whatever it was at the time. We go back home. Second grade comes. I have my little Velcro wallet. I opened it up. I think I was line leader at the time or something. And I was showing Emily, probably the girl I had a crush on, or Melissa. I was line leader, so I had to show off a little bit. And I opened up my wallet. I said, look at that. That's $100, girl. Look at that. And my teacher saw me do that. Now, I didn't think much of it, right? I was like, whatever. She saw me I had $100. Probably no big deal, right? These other kids probably have a lot of money in their pocket. Obviously, I was dumb. I was in second grade. My dad used to hang out by the fence right outside the school to pick me up. A lot of parents used to do this. It was kind of the fence in between the rec center and the elementary school. And my dad and I are walking, and we would walk a block to the car. He would park. He would come stand there. I would run out to him. We would go to the car. We'd go home. And we make it to the crosswalk. I remember the crosswalk vividly. And all I hear is, Mr. Patel, Mr. Patel. And my heart sunk because I knew. Sure enough, she comes up to my dad. She said, hey, I saw AJ had $100 in his wallet today, and he was kind of showing it off. I just wanted to bring it to your attention because, I just recommend that he doesn't carry that kind of money at school. He could lose it. Kids could steal it. It's just not good. My dad said, okay, thank you. Thank you for telling me. It was the quietest ride home because he was like, what is she talking about? And I was like, I don't know. She's probably crazy. She's probably crazy. And nothing else was said. We get home. I remember I ran to the bathroom. I put the $100 behind the toilet. Bro, I'm telling you, I'm not lying. I put the $100 behind the toilet. And then when my dad came to the room and he was looking through everything, he was looking through my wallet, looking through my backpack and stuff, and I didn't have the $100. So he kind of believed me, but he knew. And he was angry. A lot of people meet my dad now and they're like, oh my gosh, he's so calm. He's so cool. No. That man, I was a bad kid to some extent. At some extent, I was a bad, right? I was a boy. What do you expect? But the focus here is my teacher snitched on me. And we should fully support this. Power to the teachers, power to the parents. Ignore these badass kids. These kids don't know what they're talking about. If they want a different color toothbrush, give it to them.